You know what's the first thing you need when you are making a fighting game? A main character. You know, someone that you can put in the front and say, he's the poster boy of the game, the icon of the game. Just look at every other fighting game. Fatal Fury, Terry Bogard. Street Fighter, Ryu. King of Fighters, Kyo Kusanagi. Tekken, Kazuya Mishima. All of these games determined that, hey, this is going to be our main character, and he's going to be the poster boy of the game. But you know what Mortal Kombat lacked? The poster boy. You know, it's really easy to look at Mortal Kombat and say, hey, Liu Kang is the main character of the game. But considering that the spotlight of the poster boy always goes to Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and they always steal the attention of people, it's really not that easy to call Liu Kang the icon of the franchise. If anything, looking at the history of Mortal Kombat, it's very easy to say that they did Liu Kang dirty. You know, for this, we have to go and look at Mortal Kombat's history. Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3. Liu Kang is the main character of the game, hands down. Liu Kang is the main focus of the game. But even then, Liu Kang is nowhere near the most popular character in the game, considering that Sub-Zero and Scorpion and other ninjas were like the most popular characters in the game. Like, the ninjas were so popular and important to the game that when Mortal Kombat 3 came out and Scorpion was missing in that game, people were outraged. And then Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 came out, and once again Scorpion was the poster boy of that game, and people were once again happy. You know how important and popular the ninjas were? Sub-Zero got his own standalone game before Liu Kang. And then comes out Mortal Kombat 4. You know, there was this trend going on in the 90s that fighting games were axing their previously established characters in favor of adding new characters and introducing new generations. The Street Fighter 3, for example. Other than Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li and Akuma, every other character was completely new in that game. Even Tekken 3, for example. Kazuya Mishima, Jun Kazama, Bakudo-san, Lee Chaolan, everyone was missing from that game. And they added Jin Kazama, Ling Xiaoyu and characters like Warong to that game. So of course Mortal Kombat, one of the biggest names in the fighting game industry at the time, had the bright idea to do the same. Removing characters like Kano and adding jackasses like Jarek to the game. And once again, Liu Kang was not on the spotlight. They were going to introduce a new main character, Kai. Not to mention, the game was not very well received because the 3D transition for the game was extremely rough, and comparing to other competitors at the time, Mortal Kombat 4 was not really successful. But hey, there is always a future. Of course, Midway was gonna learn from its mistake on Mortal Kombat 4 and make a better 3D fighting games now that other 3D fighting games like Virtua Fighter, Tekken, and Dead or Alive were establishing the formula for the concept. And Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance was announced for PlayStation 2 and GameCube. And you know what's the first thing that happens in that game? Yep, Liu Kang died. I can imagine the disappointment of many Liu Kang fans at the time when Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance was announced and Liu Kang just died at the beginning of the game and was not even playable in Deadly Alliance. Deadly Alliance was a very weird game, and it was more focused on characters like Raiden. It didn't really even have a main character. Not to mention, Kai was not even playable in Deadly Alliance, a character that they were going to establish as the new protagonist of Mortal Kombat in Mortal Kombat 4, and killing off Liu Kang and not even including Kai and trying to establish him as a new character, it was a complete missed opportunity. Then Mortal Kombat Deception is announced, and hey, Liu Kang is coming back. This is great, am I right? Well, Liu Kang died in Deadly Alliance, so how are they gonna bring him back for Deception? Well, now we have Zombie Liu Kang or Undead Liu Kang. You know, this is one of the best and at the same time one of the worst forms of the character. You know, this is one of the best forms because this is exciting and new. We have never even imagined to see the character in this state, and we never thought that the story of Mortal Kombat goes in a way that Liu Kang turns to zombie. But at the same time, it is the worst form because now he's no longer the main character, he's no longer the poster boy, and the spotlight is no longer on him. You know, Mortal Kombat could have easily solved this just like how Tekken solved Devil Jin or how Street Fighter solved Evil Ryu. you can't help but compare the characters and say, huh, Liu Kang could have been like that. Undead Liu Kang could have been the Devil Gene of Mortal Kombat, could have been the evil Ryu of Mortal Kombat. But once again, it is a huge missed opportunity. You know, the time that Liu Kang really got the chance to shine was Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, but even then he had to share the spotlight with Kung Lao. Then comes out Mortal Kombat 9, one of the best Mortal Kombat games of all time. You start the story of Mortal Kombat 9, and lo and behold, the first character you play as is not even Liu Kang, it's Johnny Cage. I think it takes like 5 or 6 chapters for the game to finally let you play as Liu Kang in the main story mode of the game. And as the story progresses, you can see that they are no longer even interested in putting Liu Kang in the spotlight. And by the end of the game, oh, would you look at that, Liu Kang dies again. Now there is not much to say about Liu Kang in MKX because he just kinda exists in that game. Now it is very interesting to look at Mortal Kombat 11 because the fans of this game were not only divided in the gameplay but the story as well. Now the story is by no means bad in my opinion. It tries to be the end game of Mortal Kombat. Kronika brings characters from the past to the future, and now these characters see that what happens to them and they try to restore the timeline. But you know what I really like about this game and the idea is that Liu Kang is once again treated like the main character. Once again, he is put on the spotlight and he is shown as the main character of Mortal Kombat. But then, the most important thing in the game happens right at the end. Liu Kang becomes a god. You know, when I talk about the story of this game, I kind of find it amusing because Liu Kang went from this martial artist of Shaolin, going to this tournament trying to save the Earth, and then dying, and then coming back, and then dying again, and then becoming a god. This has been a roller coaster for the character. Now the potential for the next game is through the roof. There are so many possibilities at the end of Mortal Kombat Aftermath. Now they can go any directions they want. And then comes out Mortal Kombat 1. Another reboot, a brand new universe, as Ed Boon really likes to put it. Now, I am not one of the haters of Mortal Kombat 1. I know so many people hate this game. I don't play it enough to hate it or love it. I have no problem with the gameplay, to say the least. My problem is the story of it. Before we even talk about the story, I want to take a moment to talk about the trailers. The trailers were incredible, to say the least. From that one announcement trailer where Liu Kang just stands there, establishes himself as the god of this universe, that sends chill to my spine.
You have chosen to defy peace. Then you have chosen war with a god.
And this is what I wanted as a fan of the franchise, for the poster boy of the game, for the main character of the game to be treated like a main character, to be put on the spotlight and act like he's the big deal of the game. But of course came this important question. How are the other characters are gonna get treated, and how are they gonna fit in this new timeline with Liu Kang as a god and as replacement for Raiden? Playing through the story mode of the game, I can see that many other problems start to emerge. At the end of Mortal Kombat Aftermath, it shows that Liu Kang goes to see Great Kung Lao, and that could hint that Kung Lao could be a big deal in the next game, but once again, he is just swept aside as a side note. Characters like Raiden at the beginning of the game gets shown as the new champion of the Earth, and they seem like to be the next big deal, but they are once again not that focused on the story. I'm sure you have heard the problems that people have with the story of MK1, but I'm gonna say it again. Anzo Hasashi, the guy that has always been a Scorpion, is not in this game. Kuai Liang, the guy that has always been Sub-Zero, is the new Scorpion of Mortal Kombat 1. Bi-Han is the Sub-Zero again, just to become Noob Saibot again anyways. Cyrax and Sector are women in this game. And not to mention, Kitana is done extremely dirty. She was the Empress in the previous games, but now she is just the henchman of Melina. Melina was a clone of Kitana, but now she's her older sister, and Melina is the new Empress, and Kitana is just her henchman. Kitana became a jobber in this game. And jobber characters like Baraka and Reptile, they at least got some good treatment in this game. Instead of dying at the first minutes of the game, they now are one of the main characters. One of the problems I have with MK1 is how they treated Shao Kahn. You know, he's not even a Khan anymore, he's just General Shao. He used to be the most terrifying boss in the history of Mortal Kombat, but now he's a jobber. And as much as I like Fire God Liu Kang, I can't help but feel like the story lets him down. Especially near the end of the game, where the whole Deadly Alliance thing happens again and Liu Kang is supposed to stop them. You know, this was the perfect opportunity for Liu Kang to get revenge for the original Deadly Alliance. This time he could have defeated Shang Tsung and Quan Chi and establish himself as the victor and as the god of the universe even further. But once again, he is defeated by Deadly Alliance, and the character that you pick has to save him. And it is at then that you can see that Liu Kang is not the main character again. Now let's just forget about the whole thing with Chaos Reign, because it is obvious the focus of that was Bi-Han and not even Liu Kang. Just looking at the story of Mortal Kombat 1 as a whole, it is kinda disappointing that they are wasting the potential of Fire God Liu Kang. Now I know you can be optimistic about the future of Mortal Kombat, but I don't even know where they're gonna go from here. I don't even know how they're gonna go with Mortal Kombat 2 or whatever it's gonna get called in the future. I don't know what's gonna happen to Liu Kang, I don't know what's gonna happen to any other character. All I can do is be hopeful that they don't waste the potential of Fire God Liu Kang.